Hey guys, it's Neat2 up here, and welcome back to Black Dude Reviews, a show hosted by a black dude who's currently on an NES victory lap. Welcome to my personal favorite Mega Man game, Mega Man 7, the first classic Mega Man game on the Super Nintendo. It only took them about 5 years, but Mega Man's finally on newer hardware, not counting Mega Man X of course. Apparently this game only took 3 months to put together, which is pretty impressive for game development. So let's see what exactly Capcom was able to conjure up in 3 months as we review Mega Man 7 for the Super Nintendo. When we start the game up, we're greeted with an intro cutscene building upon the ending of Mega Man 6, in which Dr. Wily finally got arrested by Mega Man. But it turns out that Dr. Wily had a backup plan just in case something like this would ever happen to him, as 4 stored away robots unleashed themselves to go find Dr. Wily after 6 months of no response from him. If you wait after the title screen is shown, you'll see a little bit of gameplay showing off how all the weapons in the game can be used. Nice of the game to do that, and so we start the game. Fun fact, Mega Man 7 was the last classic Mega Man game to use the password system. I say last classic Mega Man game because Mega Man X3 released after this game did, and it had a password system too. This time around, we have an intro stage. This is the first appearance of Otto, the shopkeeper in this game. He's driving Mega Man and Roll out to go stop Dr. Wily, but when Otto's car can't go any further, he gives Mega his helmet and Mega starts traveling on foot. I mean, if you take the Met helmet, your head will become invincible, no? Doctor, are you okay? Well, of course he's not okay. You're literally stepping on his fingers. I'll bring back Roll to take care of you. Yeah, could you tell her to bring me some ice to put on my fingers that you crushed? Dr. Light shows Mega Man that Wily's robots are helping him to escape, and afterwards sends Mega and his boy Rush on his way. And so we start the game for real this time. Mega Man can still charge up his shots, and his slide has been fixed since Mega Man 6. The Rush coil also makes its return. Mega Man destroys the Mad Grinder and also runs into this mysterious robot, who reveals himself to be Bass and his wolf companion to be Treble. And so we're greeted with the stage select. To follow along with the game's story, there are 4 bosses to take down instead of the usual 8. And something interesting about this game is that after beating the boss of the stage, Mega Man goes to Dr. Light to talk about what his acquired weapon can do, which, once again, is nice of the game to do that. After taking down all 4 robots, Mega Man goes to the lab and talks to Dr. Light about what he thinks of Bass. Then, after seeing that Wily's attacking the Robot Museum, Mega Man gets sent there to stop Dr. Wily. In the Robot Museum, there are a ton of references to the past 6 Mega Man games. Even the music remixes the themes of Guts Man Stage, Heat Man Stage, and Snake Man Stage. Dr. Wily came to the Robot Museum to steal Guts Man. Is it really that surprising that he'd steal Guts Man of all Robot Masters? Why is Guts Man even in this museum? Then we fight a giant robot named Mash, and after beating Mash, we're given 4 more robots to take down. So in the end, the game didn't abandon the tradition of dealing with 8 Robot Masters before taking on Wily. Let's talk about the stages. The stages in this game are pretty similar in terms of design to the stages from Mega Man's NES days, except they have a lot more secret items. In each of the 4 initial stages, you can get a letter circuit plate, and if you get all 4 letters that spell Rush, you unlock the Super Adapter, which is essentially a combination of both the Jet Adapter and the Power Adapter from Mega Man 6. In Junkman stage, you can get Rush Jet, which behaves just like Rush Jet did in Mega Man 4, in that you can only manually move it up and down, and by default it propels forward. And in Freeze Man stage, you can get Rush Search, which acts kinda weird in that there are specific places in the game in which if you use Rush Search, you'll get a secret item, ranging from packs of 100 bullets to general special items. One special item you can get is the exit module, which lets you exit stages that you've already visited. And another special item you can get is the energy balancer, which makes a return from Mega Man 6, which fills up the weapon with the least amount of ammo when you don't have a weapon equipped. And another special item is the Hyper Rocket Buster, which makes the rocket punch of the Super Adapter home in on close by enemies. Also, Beat makes a return in this game. However, he can't attack enemies anymore. Now, he saves you whenever you fall into pits. You can rescue Beat in Slash Man stage. You can also buy these items from the shop. You access the shop by pressing the select button when you're on the stage select. and in the shop, you can buy Rush Jet, Rush Search, along with all the other items I talked about at a cost of bolts, which is the currency in this game. And if you find Otto's Hyper Bolt in Springman stage, all the items in the shop are decreased by half. But an item that you can't get from the shop is Proto Man's Proto Shield. In order to get that, you have to visit Proto Man in Cloudman stage, Turbo Man stage, and Shade Man stage in that order and defeat him when he challenges you. The Proto Shield can block some projectiles, but not all of them. I honestly just got it to show it off. E-Tanks are back in this game, and new to this series are W-Tanks, which restore all of your weapon energy instead of your energy. And later, you can get an S-Tank, which restores everything. In Shade Man stage, we run into Base again, who apparently really got his butt handed to him by Shade Man. Mega tells Base that we're a team and sends him to Dr. Light's lab to get fixed up. Then later, after beating the last of the 8 Robot Masters, Mega Man returns to Dr. Light's lab and sees that Base messed up the whole lab. It turns out that Base and Trouble were Dr. Wily's creations, and they stole the enhancement parts for Mega and Rush. And so Mega goes to Wily's castle where Wily and Base awaits him. Mega fights Base twice in the Wily castle, once without Treble and once with Treble and the enhancements we talked about earlier. After beating Base twice and making his way through the 3rd Wily stage, Mega Man goes to the 4th and last Wily stage, which hosts the boss rush and Wily himself. And after beating Wily Machine 7 and having to put up with the bullcrap that came with Wily Capsule 4, Mega Man beats Wily and threatens to kill him. After Wily reminds Mega that he's a robot and that robots cannot harm humans, Mega Man slowly says, "I am more than a robot. Die, Wily." Now this is actually a non-canonical part of Mega's dialogue, because in the original Japanese version of this game, Mega Man didn't say anything here. The fortress starts collapsing, and Treble rescues Dr. Wily from the debris he got caught under. Then Base comes to announce to Mega Man that he was too late and that they would return. As Mega walks home and Wily's fortress explodes behind him, the credits start rolling. I like the little touch they made to Mega's facial expression as he's walking. He kind of alternates between being calm and being peeved. After the credits are done rolling, we see Mega Man running over to Big Eddie, where the rest of the gang is, and they all take a picture together. I assume since Dr. Light's lab is all messed up, this is where their home was going to be until the next game, though it is pretty cramped in there. Despite the very few problems I have with this game, it's still amazing. I love this game. I very well may be blinded by nostalgia, but I honestly really do love this game. It didn't just blindly use the formula of the previous Mega Man games and instead try to make something new with the hardware that they've been given. With the secrets, the boss fights, the stages, and the looks of this game, it's all very new and inspired. First, let's talk about the looks. I love how this game looks. Some people think that the sprites of this game are a little too big, especially coming from the NES games where you could see a lot farther, but I think the level design complements the bigger sprites and enemy designs, and the gameplay doesn't detract too much from that of the NES games. Well, except for the secrets, but more on that soon. But yeah, in terms of difficulty, this game is almost at the same level as the NES games. However, the endgame stages are, in my opinion, significantly harder than the 8 initial levels. The Wily Capsule in this game is really hard for someone who's new to this game and to the Mega Man series, but if you're maxed out on E-Tanks and you've mastered the Wily Machine 7 fight, it shouldn't be that bad. Though I wouldn't call it impossible to beat without using E-Tanks, especially if you're skilled, but moving on. Let's talk about the secrets in this game. One thing I like about them is that they're not something that I feel like I need to find in order to have a fun time playing through this game. The game is pretty balanced and friendly to people who are minimalists, but it does reward you quite a bit if you do decide to go out of your way to find the secrets. Speaking of, the secrets in this game can provide some replay value, but some of the secrets in this game are almost too well hidden. Like this secret Proto Man room in Turbo Man stage that's hidden behind a wall that looks different than the other walls, and this 100 bolt location in Junkman stage. Rush Search can also be pretty picky to use at some locations. However, I do suppose that some of the background elements can aid you in knowing where exactly you should position Rush Search to find the secret. Moving past the secrets, another aspect of this game I find intriguing is the story. See, usually Mega Man games focus more on the gameplay and not that much on the story. But here, I'd say say that the story and the game have an equal amount of attention drawn to them. The concept of having a partner take on Dr. Wily with you, and then later that partner betrays you, is a nice idea for a plot and is very unique for a Mega Man game. And also, the ending is definitely not like any ending we've seen in any other Mega Man game, with Mega Man being so sick of Wily's shenanigans and wanting to kill Wily. That ending is sure to make you remember the name of this game after beating it, though to some, it can come across as quite shocking to hear something like that from Mega Man. Now, when I became a bigger Mega Man fan and I got into Mega Man X, and I found out that that game released 2 years before Mega Man 7 did, I began to view Mega Man 7 in a somewhat different light. I always thought this game was trying to lightly mimic Mega Man X, in the ways that it has a lot of secrets, its story is expanded and is a bigger focus, and it even has an intro stage and an ending cutscene. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, if you're trying to expand your formula and make your game unique, so you try thinking about how you made your spin-off and how it's so popular, I for one would say that's a good thing. It'll really set your new game apart from the other games and get people interested in your series, especially if this is their first game they've played from the series, which it was for me. One more thing I really like about this game is its music. It's really nice to listen to, and Wily Stage 1 especially makes me feel very nostalgic. I also really like Junkman's theme. It's very catchy and memorable. They were really abusing the Super Nintendo sound channels with this one. Oh, and a cool Easter egg in Shade Man stage is that if you hold the B button after you select the level, the stage will play music from Ghosts and Goblins. So yeah, returning to this game after like 3+ years of not playing it all the way through, I still really love this game. The game expands on a lot of things that the classic series had already established and introduces new things that would truly set it apart from the others, like a shop system, bolts, and a story that heavily affects the game's formula. The game looks and sounds wonderful, and while the sprite sizes may be bigger, the difficulty of the game and what it throws at you doesn't come any short of what the NES games would do in their general design. It's a great game to get you started in the series, and while the difficulty of the endgame stages may throw you off, it's still a well-balanced, well-designed game, and it provides a pretty good example as to how Mega Man games would roll from that point forward, with the story and the game's general design. So with that, I give Mega Man 7 for the Super Nintendo a 5 out of 5 stars. Next time, we'll be looking at both versions of Mega Man 8, the Sega Saturn version as well as the PS1 version. So if you'd like to see a review of that, please subscribe. It's quick and easy, and you can always change your mind. But besides that, leave a like or leave a dislike, and thanks for watching.